Enjoy this Goldilocks Productions presentation of the Joyful Finding Show with your host, Melissa Parks.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining me today. Whew, the energy is hot and heavy today. Well, not so much heavy, but very hot. Maybe just because I'm in Florida and it's supposed to feel like 115, but the energy is kicking and has been kicking since about 11. I knew I was connecting in with a lot of people today. There's a lot of shifts and changes going on since we went through all these energy shifts that we had last week, especially through the solstice and everything. Whew, I got to feel a little bit calmer after the solstice. The things started to really calm down for me. So where are you at? What are you doing? What kind of choices are you making in your life to make your life better? If you keep following the same patterns, I ask that you break it up and find a different pattern for yourself. But like I said, the energy is kicking today, lots of shifts and changes. I've run into lots of different people in the last few days. And in a circumstance, I had to keep my cool. I'm supposed to share this story. I guess I'm supposed to share this story, but you're going to hear it anyways, which is so funny, but not funny at the same time. So you all know, I've mentioned this before, I go to the laundromat to do my laundry. So I was at the laundromat, and I was moving my laundry from the washer to the dryer, and I had to cross the front doors, and they're double doors. And this gentleman opened the door like he was going to walk through, but then he gestured me with his arm that I could go first. I said, thank you. After I said thank you, this man verbally assaulted me with all kinds of different things, racial slurs because I'm white and all these different things. And I was just like, whoa, all I said was thank you. So as soon as he walked to the other side of the room, and I was like, all I said was thank you, and I walked out the door. And I had to go get some things out of my car. And when I came back in, I stayed away from this gentleman. I was like, I don't need any confrontations. I don't know if it was my light or my energy that irritated him, but whatever it was, me saying thank you set him off on this tangent. But I kept my cool the whole time, and he spewed off in the laundromat making a fool of himself, which, I feel like he's done before, but it was about me staying very calm. This man also needed me to stay calm, because if I reacted in a way that was not good for him, then things would have escalated into something else. So I just held my cool through the whole thing, and he did finally apologize to me by the time I was ready to go, and said, I'm sorry. And I was like, peace, brother, because, sometimes people are just having a bad day, and sometimes even just doing a nice gesture can set them off. It's kind of crazy, but just keep your cool when you're going through things and know that you're being protected, because as soon as that happened, I also called in my higher self. I called in my angels. I called in my guides. I called in everyone, because I didn't know what to expect. But it all worked out for the best. So I just wanted to share that, because it was like my exciting thing through the weekend. But it also helped me to really understand that I needed to keep my calm for a lot of other things, because there's a lot of people around us that are freaking out. So it's like we need to be calm, and we don't need to react to things. You know what I mean? Because I think he was wanting me to react, and I just wouldn't. So how are you interacting in your relationships? Are you still reacting to things? Or because I would have reacted differently even 2 years ago, or even 5 years ago. So it's like, how are you reacting to situations now? Are there still things out there that are triggering you? And if they are, let's take a look at them and let's shoo them away. Time to get rid of them. Time to let go of what no longer serves you for your highest and best. Whew, man, the energy is still kicking. All right, so I'm ready for my first caller, which is coming in from area code 216, and Desmond is my first caller today.
Hello?
Hi, Desmond. Welcome to the show. How can I help you today?
I was just wondering, I got a comment and a question. The energy.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, the energy, that keeping you calm, that's, it seems like once I get to one level, I get tested on another level. So it's important to keep you calm and steadfast, because it's almost like a test to see where you see if you graduate or not to the next level. So, but it is kind of intense. But
Oh, Desmond, you just lit me up. So you are correct. That was a test for me. Thank you.
So, question. I was wondering when do you see me in the next 6 months as far as relationship, meaning a possible mate, a twin flame lady.
Okay, so you're not in a relationship now, but you're looking for a new relationship within the next 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in there.
Let's see, Desmond. Let me just tap a little further into your energy here. Okay. So you're finally ready for that new relationship is what they're showing me. It's like you're opening that door back up. So, yes, it's on the way. It's like, but you're also going to be tested if you'll go for the same pattern of relationship you've had before, or will you step out of that and choose something new for yourself? And I feel like you're on the way to choosing something new for yourself because you've already recognized the patterns that are not working for you. So you're opening that wide open is what they're showing me. So, yes. Love is coming for you within the by the end of this year. This year is pretty powerful, and you already feel the energy. And they're also showing me that you're going to feel the energy of the mate. So you're going to feel the connection, and you can feel the goosebumps right now, right? You feel the energy of that truth. You can feel that connection.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
You can feel that, right?
Yeah, it's almost like I can taste it in the air. I mean, it's not close to me physically, but I can kind of taste it like, wow, I don't know.
But it's close. That's how close it is.
Right. I can sense it, yeah. Feels exhilarating.
You're giving me goosebumps right now from head to toe.
Kind of scary in a way, in a good way. For real.
Why is that scary?
I don't know. I mean, it could be kind of overwhelming, like, wow, you've been waiting all this time, now it's here, and then it can feel so good. You'd be like, wow, let me step back for a minute. Let me sit down somewhere, okay.
Right.
You have to,
okay.
Yeah.
But enjoy the ride. This is what you've been asking for. This is part of the journey that you get to start to enjoying with that other person that helps open up all these new doors and opportunities that you haven't yet opened. So you do it as a couple is what I'm seeing. So there's many things that are going to open wide for you through this connection, and also honoring that energy that you feel within, because that energy is leading you in the right direction.
Okay. All right.
How's that feel, Desmond?
No, I got a big smile on my face. It's going to be, wow. No, it's going to be like taking drugs without taking. It's going to be the feeling of taking a get high drug without getting high. That's how I'm feeling.
Exactly. And that's how we can all start feeling. So I'm glad that you actually pointed that out, because we can all start feeling that joy all the time. All the time. If we stay connected in that energy to our higher selves, following the correct path for us, we can feel that all the time.
Yeah, and it kind of helps you appreciate all the BS you went through and all the struggle. It helps you appreciate it even more once you hit that pinnacle. So.
Correct. We have to be grateful for everything that we went through to brought us to this point we are at today, so that we can appreciate everything so much more, and that we're finally creating the future that we want to have, rather than just being thrown whatever was given to us.
Right. Yeah, stepping into our power, yes.
Yeah. All right, so good things for you. And also, before I let you go, I also need to let you know that you need to step in and start using more of your abilities, trusting your intuition more. I think that's part of the reasons why you called today. So really trust and believe in that, and create exactly what it is that you're trying to create. I also feel like your heart chakra is really starting to open. You're starting to really walk out of any judgment that you had before and seeing everybody through the eyes of love.
Okay. Continue to do that. Okay. All right. Appreciate that information, and have a glorious day.
Thank you. You too, Desmond. I appreciate you calling in today. And keep up the good energy. Woo-hoo!
Love and light. All right.
Love and light to you too, man. Oh, awesome. See, I love that everyone's able to connect in and feel the energy, even when we're connecting in for the messages, or even if you're just feeling the energy through the wavelengths of us connecting now, or even if you listen to me later. It's just freaking amazing. I just love this stuff. There's just so much. Oh, that's really awesome. Thank you. It's like there's just so much fun to be had in this lifetime, and now we're starting to create that, okay? And it's just like Desmond. He's finally calling out to the love that he wants in his life, that he desires. And I'm going to call it a twin flame, even though I'm not sure that's going to be the right term that I should be using for his relationship, but that's something that you all understand. So, but it's like you're bringing two parts of yourself together so you feel like a whole, which is so awesome. So it's just like, woo, they're giving me lots of energy. So just know, if you're out there and you are searching for new love, keep it in your mind's eye what that looks like, what that feels like for you. Not so much what the person might look like, but what does that relationship look like? How does it feel to you? Actually see it already in your life so you can start manifesting that even faster for yourself. I made a post this morning about retraining your brain, right? So it's about keeping the thoughts positive all the time so that we can start creating more of that. Because if we get into a hump or something where we start thinking badly about ourselves or we're never going to be happy, well, that's the life that you're creating. So don't create that. Create happy, happy, happy. Everything happy. See everything as very, very happy, okay? I feel like that's important for us to change. I feel like that's important about us all moving forward and about us all feeling the joy that we're supposed to feel, okay? So start feeling more joy. And if you're not, make better decisions so that you feel more joy, okay? Everyone can do this. Everybody can do this, which is awesome. All right, so now we're on to my next caller, which is area code 480. And Mike is my next caller on the line.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. How are you today, and where are you calling from?
I am in Las Vegas.
All right. How can I help you today?
Yes, I was calling. I'm actually in the talks with my old employer, the company that I work for in Santa Barbara, but they also have a sales office in Dallas, just east. And I'm looking, they're starting a new class for training August 5th, and I'm looking to make that jump. And I was curious if you see that being, one, a smart move, and two, financially everything falling into place to be able to do that for August 5th.
I just got yes. And it's so funny because as soon as you said Dallas, they started making this X. So like X marks the spot. I was drawing when you were talking. So this is all going to fall into place because you want it to. And you're tired of being where you're at anyway, so it's like this gets to change up all the energy around you. So I feel like it's a good move. I feel like it's awesome. And have no fear about everything falling into place because everything will fall into place. It's all in divine order. You just have to believe that it is.
Right. Yep. No. And from my jumping around and moving around from Michigan to Arizona to California and now Vegas and now to Texas, everything happens pretty much in the 11th hour. So it's just like, all right, just roll with it and be cool and knowing that it's just going to happen.
Right. And it's funny that you just said that because your light has to be in these places. That's why you've moved so much. It's not because you don't know how to settle down. It's like your energy and those lights have to go to those places for whatever reason. It's like connecting new grid lines. They're showing me lots of energy around you. So you're very important that way.
Oh, awesome. That's good to know. Because a buddy of mine is also, who's in San Francisco, is talking to his buddy about me at a company in Austin, Texas. And I didn't know if one would be better than the other or just kind of roll with what I know and then make a decision like in a year and two once I've, banked?
Here's the thing. They want you to follow your gut on this one, okay?
Yep.
They want you to totally follow your gut, and both are good options, okay? But I feel like you're going to stick with what you know because that's safe.
Yeah.
See? But if you do that, that's fine. If you're going to still make that transition, but you need to feel safe to be able to move forward. So you're doing it just fine. So whatever your gut tells you in that 11th hour, you're like, all right, I'll do it. And I feel like you're going to be a little bit more spontaneous about things too, because you like to think things out and plan things sometimes. But they're like showing me a little bit more spontaneity and stuff.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And also too, I have found out about a program. So even if everything doesn't fall into line in regards to a place to stay, I can always use the VA as a backup in that sense for temporary housing.
Correct.
Awesome.
You already have. They show me the stepping stones are stepping up in front of you, so you're going to land exactly where you need to land with no expectations. Everything's going to work out just fine.
Perfect. Yeah. Just as I suspected.
See, you just needed
sometimes you just need that validation.
Today. You just needed to know that you're on the right path, because sometimes we get confused. We're like, well, are we overthinking this, or should I do something different? But no, you're listening to your gut, you're listening to your intuition, and that's what's leading you into these different directions. No matter what state they move you into, you're supposed to be there to make those connections and then keep moving on. So I don't feel like you're going to find your roots, like where you're going to find your long-term home for quite a while.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I ultimately want to save up and build out a sprinter van, like kind of an RV, because there's also a project that I want to launch and build out a sprinter van and be kind of like an RV and like travel the country and just kind of building that business.
Right. Well, you should be doing that. You're supposed to be self-employed, dude.
Yep. I know.
So make it happen.
Make it happen. Yes, ma'am.
And you're making it happen one step at a time, and that's the only way you can do it. They just show me like this wide door opening, and there's lots of light on the other side. So keep using and keep dreaming. They're just very happy that you're moving forward in such a way, and you've given up all the fear that you had going on. So
yes.
Good job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day, Mike.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Awesome. 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 All of you that are listening and calling in are just amazing. There's just so many things that are shifting, and this really makes me happy to know that you guys are listening to your intuition. You're listening to your gut finally, rather than listening to our head sometimes, which leads us down all these crazy roads or detours that we end up going to. So just know that everything is shifting and changing in just the right way, and everything is happening in divine time. So I know that I say this a lot, but we have to have patience as we put our plans into action, because everything will come out just the way we want it to, or maybe even better. Actually, more likely better than we had set out for it to start out. Okay, so just keep an open mind, keep dreaming, keep dropping the dead weight, all the baggage that you don't need anymore. If you were telling the old story, tell a new story. What story do you want to tell now? What are you creating? If this is a new chapter of your life, what are you creating for yourselves? What are you creating? I just love this stuff so much. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for tapping in. So I'm going to let you guys know where you guys can reach me. So I'm here in Sarasota, Florida. If you guys ever get out on vacation, you can find me here at Wild Ginger Apothecary. But if you're not, you can find my website at IamMelissaParks.com. You can reach me by phone and text at 941-266-9250. And you can just reach out. We can do a reading over the phone. We can Skype it. We can do whatever we need to do to make it happen for you. And my schedule is kind of flexible, so don't think your time is out of control or whatever. I'm here to be of service, and I'm here to help so we can all move forward and we can all be much more joyful. So that's part of my purpose, so I just thought I'd let you guys all know that again. And then, again, if you guys are in the Sarasota, Florida area, this Saturday we have 3 amazing psychics getting together for a morning message gallery here at Wild Ginger at 10 a.m. So me and two other amazing psychics get together, and we are just going to be like, bam, 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 giving everybody messages. Everybody leaves with 3 messages. That's how much fun it is. So if you're in Sarasota, check it out. So what else is happening in your lives, people? What else kind of things? Oh, I should also mention, if you're on the line and you're listening and you do have a question and want to tap in, please hit number 1 so you can get in the call list there. So lots of compassion going on. So I'm going to go back to my little story I told in the beginning, because I had to have compassion towards this man that was freaking out at me at the laundromat, you know, and I also had to have courage not to run and freak out either. So just know that a lot more people are starting to open up to our compassion. We are starting to open up and being more courageous to get out of our way. And they also want me to bring up the whole money thing too, okay, because this has been a reoccurring pattern for a lot of my clients, myself included. I think I bring this up at least weekly, so let's bring it up again. We have to let go of the feeling of lack, like we don't have enough, or we're holding on to every little dollar we have so that it doesn't go anywhere, and then it just seems to go anyway. So we have to stop holding on so tightly to whatever that belief is around money, whether it's the lack of, or it's too hard to get, or whatever your thought pattern is behind that, and just allow the floodgates to open and allow abundance to flow into you. Don't be so stingy with your money. If you want to buy yourself that coffee that day, go ahead. The money will start to flow into you. Just allow these things to start happening for you. I know it sounds really easy when I talk about it, but it really is something that can take place in your life. I'm starting to see this with some of my clients, that they're starting to change the pattern of thinking around this. You know, because we get so stressed out if we don't have enough money. What's going to happen? That we start all this escalating of craziness in our minds and stuff. And really, we're supposed to stay focused on the end result. Everything's going to be taken care of. My material needs, my food needs, my housing needs, you know, whatever your needs are will be met. But we also have desires too. So know that those will also be met too if we believe that they can be. Because if we don't believe that they can't be, that's where our mind is going to go, and the universe listens to that. So I would like it for you all to open up, start dreaming bigger, start seeing what it is that you truly want to have in your life, and start to desire. And so they want me to point out something else. So if this is going on in my life, this has got to be going on in some of your guys' lives too. So you all know I'm psychic, because that's why you're calling into this line. But it's also, I've started to realize that I'm knowing things like a day in advance. Like I'm knowing things for sure in at least 3 days in advance. It fluctuates in what I'm thinking or talking about. So I'll give you 2 examples of what happened to me last week. So last Wednesday after this show, I was sitting and talking with this friend for a little while, and I was telling her about another client that may need to rent a room, and she has a room to rent, and I go, I have a feeling I'm going to see her soon, you know, and this was Wednesday, and then all of a sudden she shows up on a Saturday, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there you are. I was just talking about you. I knew I was going to see you soon, right? So, and then that was way cool, and then I was on the way to another friend's house who had her house for sale. And as I turned on to like two streets from her house, I'm like, oh, I saw people like, you know, signing contracts to buy her house. And then the very next day, they had a signed contract. So it's like we're starting to know things ahead of time. We're starting to really, you know, I'm good at doing it for all of you, but things in my own life, you know, I need to seek other psychics for answers. But we're starting to really understand, and the energy is really starting to flow in such a way that we're starting to understand things before they even happen. So how cool is that? I mean, you must love that. I mean, I'm loving it. I mean, I could probably think of a few other examples of things that happened to me this week. Well, yeah, let me use this. Let me use the connections of relationships or people that you are connected with. So back to my story in the beginning when I was at the laundromat. My boyfriend was home with the 2 kids while I was at the laundromat. So when I got home, I was like, oh, my God, you're not going to believe this story, you know. And he looks at me and goes, you know, I was a little worried about you tonight. Was everything okay there? And I'm like, now, isn't that interesting? I was like, you are connecting into the energy that was happening to me while I was there because he had concern about what was happening. So energetically, he's more connected than he believes he is. And he doesn't believe he has any abilities. So just know that all of you out there that don't believe you have abilities, you do. You're starting to tap into them. You're starting to use them more. So just allow yourself to open up and understand them. Yeah, they can be a little scary at first because it's something we don't understand, but just ground that energy into the ground. Know that you're being protected. Put up whatever energy bubble or angels, whatever it is that you need for protection. They'd like me to bring that up again, too. So if you feel like you're ever in danger, protections, angels, ask for help from the energy side. Allow yourself to know that you are protected. So with all of that, there's the strange things that have been going on and reoccurring in my life or taking place in my life. And it's so awesome that I get to share them with you because I feel like a lot of you are going through the same thing. I know I'm not the only one. That's one of the things that we have to remember. We are not the only one going through stuff. They might be the same stuff, but different stuff at the same time, if that makes sense. So just know that everything that you're going through is to help you uncover who you really are and expanding in that true self of who you are. And it's also about speaking our truth, too. I feel like this is very important, too. I know you guys probably think I repeat myself a lot, but this is important, that we really start standing in our truth and start really honoring who we really are. And not taking crap from anybody else anymore. Sometimes people like to control us by their attitudes, their moods, their manipulation. And I feel like we're all starting to recognize those patterns in and around us from people. I've had lots of people say, I just can't be around this person anymore because they're just always complaining about this, that, and the other thing. Then it's time for you to change. It's time for you to change. You can't change the other people, but it's definitely time for you to change where you're going, where you're at, who you're with, who you're spending your time with. So it's like people, places, and things. What no longer serves you, it's time to get rid of. And it's funny because we have this eclipse or something coming up on the 2nd. I don't know much about it yet. I saw a quick thing about it this morning. I have a hard time keeping up with everything, having such a busy life and all. But it's like I feel like that's like another way of shedding all this stuff that we need to get rid of. So put it out to the universe, put it out to God that you release what no longer serves you and you stand in your highest and best power and feel totally in control of what you're doing. That's going to make you feel better. That's going to make the people around you feel better. It's just going to make everybody feel better. It's so funny. So they want me to bring up numbers again because I'm sitting in front of my computer, and it's funny because numbers keep flashing up in front of me. So 111 just showed up because that's how many people I have in my chat right now. But it's funny because these numbers are reoccurring for me. Again, when I pulled into the parking lot to come into work today, again, the number 44 was there. So whatever these numbers that are calling out to you, please pay attention to the signs and look up the spiritual meaning, metaphysical meaning of everything that you run into and that you question. And find the one that totally resonates with you because everyone has a slightly different thing, so find the ones that work for you and make sense for you. Because I feel like that's important too. I feel like we're getting those repeated patterns, whether it's the signs, symbols, or whatever that keeps coming to you, reoccurring thoughts, pay attention to those. I feel like everyone should be doing some kind of meditation, at least 5 minutes a day, and it could be a walking meditation. You don't have to sit and go om or whatever, but just spend a few minutes by yourself and just decompress. We get so busy as human beings that we just go, and we forget. Oh, and by that, they want me to let you know that it's okay to take naps. I've run into some clients this week that they're like, I just can't nap, but I'm so tired. Well, if you have the time and it's not going to interfere with the rest of your day, take the time to take a little nap if that's what you desire. I know the energies have been kicking and keeping us up at night sometimes. I mean, they've been doing it to me too. And I'm usually a pretty good sleeper, but they've been waking me up random hours and making the dog bark at least three times, which she never does. But allow yourself to just get into whatever routine it is you have. If you feel like you need to take a nap that day, allow it to happen. A lot of the downloads that we're getting from our higher selves, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, is coming down to us when we're resting sometimes. And sometimes that has to be in the middle of the day. It's not always about go. So remember to rest and take some time just for yourself too, which is always a lot of fun. So they want you to know that lots of love is being spread out. They made me, I say they made me. I drew 11 hearts across my page, which is funny because that matched the 11 that I was there. I had to count them. But it's all about the sharing of the love. You love yourself first, okay? This is one of the things that we majorly forgot in this lifetime. And I don't mean loving ourselves first by being ego, and it has to be all about us and everything. By loving us, I mean we love everything about us. We love who we are. We love what we've gone through. We love who we're becoming. We love who we're going to be. We love everything. We spend some time with ourselves. We nurture ourselves. We do some self-care, whether that's just spending some time on the beach and just relaxing, or maybe it's just watching TV. Whatever that is, you have to love yourself first, right? And that was a hard lesson for me because I never liked anything about myself. I've always been overweight, so I never liked anything about myself. But now I love everything about myself, even the overweightness. So it's like we have to just love everything that we are. We chose this suit for a reason, so love it, love it, love it, love it. And as we move forward, we start loving everyone else more, okay? It's just like I could have really not liked that guy from the beginning of the show that I met at the laundromat, but I chose to send out love to that man, regardless of what he's gone through. And I didn't judge him for all the things that he said that he'd been going through as he was talking to another lady. But, I only told you the gist of the story, but you got the idea of it. It's like I needed to be the calm in the storm. So it's like we're all starting to be that calm in the storm of whatever's going on around us. And if we're still reacting to what's going on around us, how can we change so that we don't react? How is it that you're going to start to change so that you don't react to these same triggers anymore or these same things, right? It's just an amazing world that we live in and the amount of time that we're changing. And it's moving very quickly. It's so funny. I had a friend text me yesterday, and she wanted to say it was Wednesday when it was really Tuesday. But we're all going through that. I have a hard time knowing what time of day it is or what day it really is because they all kind of blend together now, Sometimes I wake up on a Tuesday, and I think it's Saturday already. I'm like, ooh, we're really trying to push the week along, But it's just like we're moving so fast that we're not keeping track of time so much because time is a linear thing anyway. So just know that we're all advancing very quickly as we move forward, and you're opening up to so much more love, to so much more joy, and you're spreading that. You're creating. We're creating, Let the chaos fall down around you, but you stand in your calm, right? And start paying attention to the loving guidance that you receive, that you're here, or it shows up just randomly, or it's kind words that you hear from somebody else. Listen to these things. Open up. Be really receptive to everything that's going on around you. And they want me to mention again to step out of ego. And, oh, my gosh, everyone's coming into their abilities. They want me to touch on this again because everyone's really starting to expand, awaken, open up, whatever that word is that you want to use, to understand who you are as a spiritual self, as a soul self, and really getting out of your human way. Does that make sense? I hope. But it's like we're starting to shift. I notice it more with even my clients that are showing up, or, they're opening up more, or they're feeling the energy more. So learn to use the energy. What does it feel like to you? Learn to protect the energy if you need to. Move the energy around if you need to. Sometimes I look like a total crazy person walking through the grocery store because I'm waving my arms around, moving the energy. Not like a crazy person, but like I could be moving them in waves, or I could just be pushing heavy energy out of my way, whatever it might be. So that's way cool. So just start playing with the energy more, feeling the energy, feeling the vibrations of other people. It's way fun once we really start to connect, Look up videos on energy and how it feels, or I don't know. They want you to adventure out and gain a little more knowledge in what your energy feels like and looks like for you. And sometimes, we can see it, Sometimes people can see the auras. They can see the energy of a person. I see it more like that when I close my eyes and imagine the person in my third eye. But sometimes I can see it in the physical too. So everything changes. So allow yourself to advance and change into all your abilities that you have going on. It's way, way fun, just so you know. And yeah, they got me tongue-tied there. My human self was trying to get in the way there. So it's about advancement. So advancement in every way, advancement in your vibration, the advancement in your energy, the advancement in your understanding, the advancement in everything that you're doing. So how do you want to advance in your life? I want everyone to get out like a piece of paper and start writing down all the things that you desire to have in your life, or even just the things that if you just need to have some things in your life that you don't have now, so maybe some of the basic necessities. Write them down. Write everything down that you desire. The universe is listening, and you're starting to create. This is part of where we go back to training our brain. I think that's going to be a big topic today, so that we retrain our thoughts so we don't get stuck in old belief patterns of what people used to tell us, you know. And it's like I can use an example, again, another example. I got all kinds of examples for you guys this week. That's so awesome. So my brother just recently bought a house, and he wanted to pull out one of the trees in the front of the house. So he used his Jeep to pull the tree out, right, because he wanted to use it, roots and all. So he pulls it out, and I guess one of my other cousins goes, remember back in the day when we would have had to shovel that out? And then I responded under that, you know, it's time to work smarter, not harder. You know, if you have the ability to work smarter, do that. Don't hurt yourself if you don't have to. You know, I think back to a lot of the things that I used to do that I could have done a lot easier, and I'm like, boy, I wish I would have thought of that then. So it's about making our lives easier for ourselves too. So allow yourself to start making things easier for yourself, even if you just believe that it's easy or just start thinking that it's going to be easy. You know, it's just like I had that one woman a couple weeks ago, you know, in my office crying because she just didn't know how to get the money. I don't know how. And she kept stopping it by saying that. And the more she said it, the more this wall got put up. And actually that blocked my whole heart chakra, as I just told you that. So I'm going to remove that energy so we don't get, none of us pull that on. But it's like we have to retrain our brain so that we know what's going on, so that we create what it is that we're trying to bring forward for us. You know, it's just like all of these things that we desire, whether it's a new job, new relationships, new friendships, a new place to live, whatever it is, a new vacation spot, whatever it is, you can start creating those things. And then I also want to bring that up too. If you believe that you can't take a vacation, you're also stopping yourself from taking that vacation. So allow yourself to get out of your own way to make this stuff happen for you, okay? It's an amazing thing once we retrain our brain to be nice and thoughtful and considerate about what we truly want rather than stuck in these patterns of things that we don't want. Whew, boy, does our life really start to change. And then it's an amazing time to be alive, really. We all chose this. And I know some of you are going through some really, really hard things right now, which they also want me to bring up. And just know that this is like you are purging the last stuff of that. Don't give up. Call in your angels. Call in God. Call in for help. Call out to people if you're you know, here on earth. Call out to people. Ask people for help. Don't be afraid to ask people for help. Sometimes we're so afraid to ask people for help because we feel like we're not independent enough or whatever we might believe, but really throw those beliefs out the window and ask for help if you so desire. It's an amazing world we live in, people, so you get to create it now. They're showing me much magic starting to take place, which is so much fun. I'm having a great fun doing all this. Ha, ha, ha. See, they're validating that. So a lot of people are overcoming a lot of their difficulties. So like I said, if it's been crappy for you for a little while, or if you feel like things are happening one right after the other, they're testing you. How are you going to handle these things? Are you going to stay in that same pattern? Again, I bring up patterns a lot because that's something that we never really look at as humans, and how we react to things. And now we can kind of look at them. And they want you to, like, take a different perspective of your life, kind of go up above it, look down at yourself. What does it look like to you? Do you like how you're acting? Do you like how the other people are acting? Could you act differently? Could you respond differently? Are you still, you know, what are things that you can do differently about all that, you know? Because we're also starting to become more sensitive to all this stuff. You know, we're starting to become more sensitive to all the energies. Maybe a store we were able to walk into before, we can't walk into now without feeling all heebie-jeebie, or the energy is too intense, or whatever it might feel. Again, remember to protect your energy and move about your day. But if they're wanting you to recognize what feels good, what doesn't feel good, and follow the pattern of what feels good, that's the things that you want to fall into. So with all that, you know, and I'm getting that a lot of people are still cleaning your space out, people, places, and things. So spring cleaning, I feel like, is still taking place. I feel like there's a lot of things that you need to get rid of. toxic people maybe that are still in your life that you're still hanging on to because you feel like you need to. Maybe you're starting to recognize you don't need to hold on to them anymore, and allowing yourself to really stand in your real truth and actually saying what you need to these people. I feel like people are still spring cleaning their homes, so you might be going through your closets, getting rid of stuff. I feel like a lot of people are unloading antiques, which is kind of weird. So there must be a lot of energy attached to them that they don't want anymore, or they just want something new. So if you're an antiquer, just know I feel like there's lots of antiques coming on the market soon. So just know that there's a lot of things that are being cleared out of your life. And sometimes they're cleared out for you if you don't do what you need to do it for yourself. Sometimes these changes are thrust upon us so that we make the changes that need to be changed. And I had it happen to me when I didn't fully want to support myself being a psychic or my energy self. I didn't think I could, right? That's what my mind thought was. But then, when I kept going to work and seeing the 555 every day, I knew change was coming, but I didn't know it was me. And that's when the lady fired me when I was pregnant. But that change is what I needed to help me step in this full time and trust in my abilities and trust what I was doing. So, we have to start trusting ourselves. And I really started trusting myself when I started doing automatic writing. It's so funny because if you guys don't know what it is, look it up, Google it. Automatic writing is when you connect to spirit, your higher self, your loved ones, God, whoever might want to come through and give you messages. I always protect before I do this. But back in the beginning when I was really starting to do this and I took an automatic writing class, and I would be like, all right, and I was involved in a church that we gave messages at, it was a spiritual church. So I'd go up to the front of the church with my little pad of paper and everything, and I'd be like, all right, I'll get messages this way. And then I would, I'd write out the message, and then I would give it to the people. I would have to read it off my page, of course. But then after a while, I was like, why do I need this piece of paper? This piece of paper is a tool, but that piece of paper also gave me the validation I needed so that I felt comfortable with the messages that I was giving. Because sometimes we have a hard time trusting ourselves as humans. We don't know if we're right, we're wrong, or whatever. So we have to just start trusting in what we're doing and moving forward. And sometimes we need that validation. So look up automatic writing, give it a go for yourself, see what you connect with, who you connect with, maybe your higher self, your angels, God, Jesus. You never know. I've run into a plethora. And what's funny now that we're talking about automatic writing, and I'm going through my automatic writings now because I have someone transcribing them. And in going through them, I used to realize that I knew a lot of my guides' names. Now I don't know any of them. I don't call them in by name. I just know what their energy is. But it was really interesting to go back that they all gave me names back in the day. And now I just know I'm connecting into the highest source so that I'm giving the best information. And sometimes names are important and sometimes they're not. Just don't get caught up so much in if their names and what they did in a past life or whatever. Just go with the information that they're giving you now. And if you need a little background, go for it. But don't consume yourself with so much of the history, because some of the history is not always correct either. Just go with what you feel in your heart. But that's a good way of getting validation, of knowing what's coming through, and that you're getting the highest and best messages that you could possibly be getting, which is so much fun because you can feel the energy change through your hand as you're writing, whether it's really powerful and they're really fast. Sometimes I have to shake my hand out when I'm done. I was like, whoo, that was important because, they were speed writing. And then you have to ask also, I have to put this out there, that you ask them that they write legibly, because some of my writing is like, oh my God, that's chicken scratch. I don't know what that is, but it's funny. Sometimes you can make it out, sometimes you can't. And when I used to ask for them to make it legible all the time, they went to printing, so I couldn't write as fast. But when you write in cursive, boy, they can shoot you right across the page pretty quickly. So it's all that much fun. You guys are open to using tools and everything to help you use your abilities too. And trusting your gut. You'll know which tools you need to use to help you advance. But the automatic writing is really fun. You can start keeping a journal every day. Write for 5 minutes a day. Write with your coffee first thing in the morning, or when you're out at the beach, or wherever you might be. Just take some time for yourself and connect if you want to. That also is a very, very good feeling, that connection feeling. And don't forget to nurture yourselves, people. We're going through a lot, Don't forget to nurture yourselves, too. we're always good about nurturing other people, making sure everyone else is taken care of, but we also have to remember that we need to nurture and take care of ourselves too. And I'm getting that we need to get out and play. It's summertime, so get out and do something fun. Get out and play with the kids. Get out and play like you are a kid. Let your inner child come out. It's time for you to have some fun this year. Sometimes we get so caught up in doing everything every day that we forget to have fun. We get so stuck in our responsibilities. You know, the 4th of July is coming up next week, so do you have plans? Are you going to get out and have fun? Are you going to just stay at home and have fun? You know, fun is coming. Summer is a time of fun. I always love summertime. Summer is always my favorite season, especially growing up in New England, because that was the warm time of year. And I'm also in Aries, so I'm a fire sign, so I like it to be hot. So, you know, and so with all of that, you know, and I got pulled down here to Sarasota, not by accident either. I was meant to be here because as soon as I landed here and the first week I was here, I was like, I could live here. And I made that happen for myself. I found, you know, I decided I wanted to be a massage therapist, so I found a school, and there was one in Sarasota. So, you know, it's like whatever you want to do and wherever you want to live, you can find it and make it happen for yourself. And with all of that, you know, everything that changes and everything that we bring forward in our lives and the changes that we want to create, just like if we want to live somewhere else, how do you make that happen? Well, do you want to go to school? Do you want to get a job there? Do you just want to find a place to live? You can make these things happen. And just by thinking them, you know, and they keep wanting to bring me back to this, you know, that we can manifest whatever it is that we need very quickly. And I'm going to bring you back to 2008. Before I believed I knew all this stuff, and I would still seek out other psychics and things for this confirmation of what I should be doing in my life or what I should be doing. And it was in the process of when I was losing my house, and I said, "Dear God," and I was looking at some crummy places to live with a 3-year-old at the time, and I was like, I don't want to live there. I don't want to live there. I said, "Dear God," I said, "I need a safe place that I can afford to raise my child." And the next morning I looked on Craigslist, and there it was. And there I was renting it too, which is also a funny time because it also corresponds to the date, because I also found that apartment or this house on February 22nd. So look at all those 2s, 2/22. You know, and I didn't recognize that until I'd actually lived there for a while. But it's funny. You know, it's like I asked for it, and it came the very next day because that's exactly what I needed. I didn't want to live someplace I didn't want to live. So just know that you're being completely guided where you need to go to. Just ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Ask out loud. Ask in your mind. Ask whatever. And they also want me to know, and we're going to step back into the money for a minute, because they want you to know that everything that you need is manifesting in your life, okay? Just like me manifesting that house, that is prosperity. Now, if you want to manifest that job, that is also going to be prosperity, abundance. You know, maybe you want to hit the lottery and you actually go into the store and you buy the lottery ticket and you totally believe that, and then you bring in your prosperity that way. There's many avenues of prosperity happening in your life. You just have to be open to them and do not shut yourself down to them. These are open channels that you can keep walking down if you so desire, and everything will come to you in divine time. Sometimes we as humans are very impatient, and we would like to have everything yesterday rather than wait another week or so. And sometimes that gets in our way too, because sometimes our patience is very important to bring us exactly where and when we need to be there. But I also see lots of, you know, it's so funny because they're showing me lots of gold falling from the sky. But I feel like it's raindrops of gold. So it's like, what are you bringing into your life? So allow more of these good things to start happening for you. And if they're not happening, recreate what you're thinking so that you can bring them into you, okay? Allow. That's a big word too. We have to give up control sometimes because we feel like we need to be in control all the time. But it really, that's our human self that feels that. So allow yourself to open up to the highest abundance for yourself and get out of our own ways. Sometimes we really get in our own ways. Our thoughts and beliefs are the biggest part of it. And sometimes our actions too. You know what I mean? So allow yourself to expand. Everyone expands. And I'm feeling like you need to prioritize a few things. I'm just going to ramble things off today because that seems to be kind of the day it's going, which is all good. This is all important, apparently, for me and for everybody else. But really prioritize. What's important to you now? Is work that is most important to you? They want you to just look at what you're making most important in your life. And really, is it the most important thing you should be spending all your energy on? So, figure out what it is that you have going on that's most important to you and start prioritizing. Because sometimes we get so caught up in stuff that we forget what the heck we're doing, So expand. They want me to say that again, too. And prioritize, getting yourself organized, motivated to do things that you truly want to do. I feel like there's a little bit of procrastination going on, too, which is okay because procrastination sometimes is also divine timing, too. But if you feel like you're not getting out of your own way, then do something to get out of your own way so you can get a little more motivated and start moving forward. Because you have to at least make the baby steps. You don't have to make gigantic leaps at first, but you have to at least start making the baby steps for yourself to move forward and allow yourself to move forward with love in your heart and everything that you're doing. Again, they want me to tap into all your abilities that you have. Open up, people. You are there to receive all this information, all these energies, all the information that you need is at your fingertips. And it's so funny because they show me this energy funnel, and this energy is going up. It's coming up from the ground, and it looks like a tornado going up. Well, this is what you guys are starting to stand into. This means you're starting to be able to grab your information from wherever it is that you need and knowing it to be truth. I feel like it's starting to fall all around you. Like everything's really starting to fall into place for all of you guys. And if it's not, then again, make different decisions, okay? And if it's not, then you need to take your power back from wherever it's coming from. Because if you're still giving it out to other people and not taking care of yourself, you're not doing the highest and best for you. You're still letting someone else control you. I like to call that like the little puppeteer, because what they show me is the strings being held by but the puppet master and you dancing around. So if you feel like that's happening to you, cut those strings to the puppet master and move about your day, because you have the power to move forward in anything and everything that you so desire. I also feel like there's a whole lot of spiritual understanding going on, too. So you guys are starting to open up to more of your spiritual self, to who you really are, to what's really going on. You're starting to see the real picture from what it looked like before. I love this because the energy is starting to shift in such a way that you guys are starting to see things better. They're showing me more of the connecting the dots. They're showing me more of the puzzle pieces being put together. They're showing me you understand why you went through, kind of like in the beginning. Even though I knew what I went through in the very beginning when I started the show today at the laundromat, it was like I knew I was being tested. I knew that when I got home. And I kind of knew it when it was happening, too. So if you feel like you're being tested, how do you pass your test this time? How do you do it differently than you've done it before? How do you start creating yourself to be a happier person? It starts with retraining your brain. Your thoughts are the most powerful thing that you have as a human being. And those are the things that are going to create the magic in your life if you so desire to have it going on. So allow yourself to open up more. Allow yourself to be who you need to be. It's so much fun that we are alive during this time and we get to see all these things starting to change and take place in our lives. And it's so fun. So have fun with it. Don't get caught up in it. Just have fun with it. There's so much taking place. There's so much happening for you and for you, not just to you, because sometimes we just think it's happening to us, and it's really not. So if you guys are on the verge and you guys are on your spiritual understanding and you're ready, then they want you to spread your wings. If you're ready to jump out of fear and jump into your new adventure, then it's time for you to open up those wings, set yourself off, and let yourself go. Allow yourself to just move forward into everything that it is you desire. Please do not hold yourself back anymore. We have a tendency to do that, and they really show me you guys just like pushing this door wide open, running through it, finding out what's on the other side, expanding like no one's business, spreading all this love and light, standing in this power, this truth that you're starting to finally understand. It's just an amazing thing that they have taking place for you. And I know you guys can all feel this because they've pretty much kept me with goosebumps the whole time. And you guys are very connected, and that's why you guys are connecting with all the people that you need to connect with. And you guys, the people that you're calling into your life are also like stepping stones for you to help you move forward and stuff. And it's so funny because I keep getting everyone's opening up to their abilities. It's like this big waterfall is falling down on everybody, and it's like waking everybody up. So I knew there was going to be some kind of event that's coming, but I don't feel like this is the event. I feel like the event happens in stages. So I feel like this is a big part of it. I feel like everyone's getting this beautiful rain shower of love and light. And it's just a beautiful thing. So just allow yourself to start expand, start creating what it is that you really want to start creating in your life. Because people, you have the power. You have the power to create what you want, what you desire. And they also want you to really tap in and find out what your real truth is, because I don't know why they just showed me this, but they just flashed me mainstream media on in front of me because I don't watch the news and stuff, but they just want you to be connected in and be like, is that the whole truth? Is that partial truth? They really want you to start tapping in and using your own abilities when it comes to everything outside of you so that you can understand it for what it really is. Because it's so funny. Something looks like a duck, but it doesn't quack like a duck sometimes, and they really want you to feel what it really is, okay? I feel like that's very important in the very coming months so that we can recognize everything for what it really is rather than what it just looks like. Funny, right? But it's giving us another understanding of all this. So I feel like that gives, people a little freaked out or whatever. But it's not, really. It's about us really understanding what's going on around us, how we take care of it, what we want to do next, and how we want to treat each other. This is important, too. How do you want people to treat you, and how do you want to treat others? I want you all to start standing in more love, start vibrating more love, start sharing it more, because it's just so important in this lifetime. Sometimes that's what we feel lack of, is lack of love. But if we just start showing it every day, start letting it come out of every pore of our being, and I feel like some of you are seeing that too. So the next time you're all in a dark room, are you starting to sparkle? Start noticing different things about yourself. I just feel like I'm all over the place, but I feel like all this information is very important for all of you today, because as we move forward, things are changing and shifting so quickly and so fast that we have to be in the calm of the storm, and that's for everybody. And some people have to go through that storm. I'm sorry, but I've already been through part of mine, and I'm sure I'm not done, but just let it go. What can you change? They want me to repeat that again. And many things are getting ready to shift and change to your favor in this lifetime. And if you haven't felt it already, then you need to get out of your own way and allow those things to start happening for you, okay? Because there's lots of passion within you that has to move forward and to open up into new things. So allow whatever passion you've been hiding up inside of you, whether it's in your love life, your career, your lifestyle, whatever it is, bring out more of that passion, because that's going to make you happy too. So if you like to sew more. You know what I mean? If you like to go to the beach, get to the beach more. Whatever it is that you like to be doing, you need to get out there and doing it more. Find your passion. If you're not in your passion job, what is your passion job? You have the ability to change all these things in your life if you so desire. And it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good. Everything's going to be good. I say that all the time, and people are like, well, if you believe that, then it will be. So what do you believe in? What do you truly, truly believe in? What do you believe? What do you believe? What do you believe? I don't know why they wanted to say that so many times, but it's kind of funny. So it's about you believing in your future. It's about you believing in what you want moving forward. It's about you believing in the right relationship. It's believing in everything that you want to create in your life. It's like you're starting off with a blank canvas. What are you creating if today was a brand new day and you knew nothing from yesterday? What do you want to create today? Start creating more of that happiness, because the energy that's been going out to all of you today is to help you all do that. I've been vibrating since the show started, so I know lots of energy, lots of healing, lots of all kinds of different things are taking place, because I haven't still quite figured out what all my energy does, but I'm sure you guys are feeling it out there. So it's like, allow yourself to feel that, allow yourself to move forward with grace and comfort in your mind and in your body, and just know that everything is unfolding for you. Everything is unfolding just the way that you desire, as long as you're believing in a good way, not in a bad way, because remember, again, if we think those bad things, we're going to bring those into our lives. So don't allow the good things to start flowing into your life. That's what you want to start creating, and you're going to start creating more and more of that. So it's so awesome. So with all of that, I'm going to get ready to wrap up my show today. I feel like I've been a little chatterbug, which is good. And I appreciate the two men calling in today. I really appreciate you guys calling in because that male energy is important too, you know. So I honor all of you, every single one of you out there. I honor each and every one of you. It's such a beautiful thing, and I can feel the energy flowing back as it's flowing out because energy flows in two directions. It doesn't always flow just one way. So it goes out, comes in. You know what I'm saying? So allow all that to flow. And I'll tell you again where you guys can find me, which is way fun. You guys can find me on my website at IamMelissaParks.com. You can find me on my cell phone. You can reach me at 941-266-9250. And you can also find me if you're in the Sarasota area. Don't mind coming and hanging out here at Wild Ginger and getting a reading, or coming for the message gallery that we have on Saturday morning, or any of the other cool classes that we have going on around here. There's just so much happening and so much fun taking place. And I appreciate, like I said, I honor each and every one of you. I appreciate every one of you, and I bless each and every one of you, and I thank you. There's just so much gratitude coming through me right now, and they want you to all feel that too, because it's not just me, it's them, because they work through me. I am just the channel. So they are very grateful that each and every one of you have tapped in, and that each and every one of you are tapping into your abilities and creating a better world. With that, we will say goodbye, and God bless you, and see you next week with love, light, and happiness. Be joyful. See you next week.